Are you feeling totally overloaded with AI tools, but you're just not seeing a clear return? Well, you are not alone. There's this idea that most companies are way behind on AI, but the reality, it's much simpler. Most are just overwhelmed. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise with a blueprint for what real AI maturity looks like. And spoiler alert, it's not about buying more tools, it's about building the right foundation. This question right here, it's popping up in boardrooms everywhere, and it reveals something fascinating. It points to this fundamental gap between just adopting AI and having an actual AI strategy. When leadership can't get a straight answer to this, it's a huge red flag that the whole approach is reactive, not intentional. So what is the real AI problem then? Because on the surface, things might look great. Copilot is deployed, teams are using ChatGPT, but these adoption numbers, they're really deceiving, and they often hide some pretty serious issues under the surface. And this slide just nails the disconnect. On paper, it looks like you've got healthy AI adoption. Awesome. But in reality, what your teams are actually feeling is a totally different story. Productivity gains are all over the place. Security risks are just quietly multiplying in the background. Costs are creeping up without any clear ROI. And hey, when something goes wrong, nobody has any idea who's accountable. Sound familiar? And here's the absolute heart of the matter. The problem isn't the tech. AI projects almost never fail because you're missing the latest, greatest tool. They fail because that essential groundwork, the hardware foundation, the systems integration, and a clear model for who actually runs it all is completely missing. All right, let's get into the first piece of that foundation and see how this all builds out. We're going to start with hardware, which is honestly the layer that is so often underestimated. AI is incredibly demanding, and trust me, it will immediately expose any and every weakness in your current infrastructure. The biggest mistake people make here is treating every single employee the same. You've got at least two very different types of AI users. Your standard users, they just need stable, modern machines that can handle the AI features that are baked into their everyday software. But your power users, the ones who are experimenting and building new stuff, they need serious horsepower. We're talking high memory, GPUs, and super fast storage. And this is exactly what happens when you get it wrong. If you starve your power users of the hardware they need, all those ambitious AI plans, they just get stuck on the drawing board. AI becomes this cool idea people talk about, not an actual tool they can use to move the business forward. Now, for the next layer of the foundation, the truth is, for most of your employees, their main interaction with AI is going to be through the software they already use every single day. Their CRM, their finance tools, you name it. Your SaaS stack is your AI stack. But here's the thing. When you just let these tools run wild without any kind of intentional plan, you just get chaos. Outputs from one AI can't talk to another. People are rewriting the same prompts over and over again in different systems. There's zero shared learning, and maybe worst of all, there's no audit trail to see what's actually going on. So the solution is to get intentional. It really starts with rationalizing your tools. Do you even need all of them? Then you map out the specific AI features in each one. From there, you can actually design how they should work together and, this is critical, become intensely aware of where your data is going between all these platforms. Okay, so with hardware and SaaS in mind, now we can talk about governance. And I'll tell you, every single successful AI program starts with some uncomfortable but absolutely essential basics. You just have to get clear on what's really happening today before you can build for tomorrow. This means putting some foundational controls in place. You need tools to discover all that shadow AI that people are using without asking. You need a single dashboard so you can see what's going on. You need central libraries for good prompts, and most importantly, you need tight controls on how AI models are accessing sensitive company data. And let's be perfectly clear about this. Trying to skip over this governance work just to move faster is a massive mistake. It doesn't get you to the finish line any quicker. All it does is massively amplify your security, your financial, and your operational risks. It's just not worth it. And that brings us to the final piece of the blueprint. And it's one that a lot of vendors don't really like to talk about. AI needs constant care and feeding. It is absolutely not a set it and forget it kind of technology. The really crucial mindset shift here is to see AI as a living system. It's not like a normal software rollout that's basically done after launch day. To keep it working, to keep it affordable, and to keep it safe, it requires continuous hands-on management. So in practice, what does that look like? It means having people and processes dedicated to these essential operations. You have to be constantly monitoring usage, managing prompts, controlling data access, tracking every dollar of cost, and measuring performance. not once a quarter, but all the time. And when you do all of this foundational work, the right hardware, an integrated stack, solid governance, and ongoing operations, the result you get isn't some vague AI magic. It's something much, much better. It's an AI capability that is measurable, that you can actually govern, and that is genuinely useful to your business. So as we wrap this up, let's make it personal. I want you to ask yourself these questions about your own organization. First step, is your hardware actually enabling your power users, or is it silently blocking their progress every single day? Second, think back to that leadership question from the beginning. Can you confidently say that you can see right now on a single screen every single AI tool being used across your company, both the approved ones and all the shadow IT? And finally, let's look ahead. If your AI usage suddenly doubled overnight, would your entire stack, your hardware, your software, your governance, would it scale gracefully? Or would it just spiral into a complete mess of rising costs and uncontrollable risk? Because at the end of the day, that's really what this all comes down to. The companies that are truly winning with AI, the ones getting real value, they didn't just chase after the smartest, shiniest tools. They did the hard, necessary work of building the right foundation first. And that is what real AI maturity looks like.